Well, welcome to a not at all racially charged bowl of dude soup.
No,
Thank God, no.
Uh,
Lawrence, you got to admit, it's pretty awesome.
welcome to dude
and
soup.
hilarious.
It's pretty
Like,
awesome.
you're doing a great job. That's
get
what's so
there.
funny
I'll
about
get
it.
there.
You're nailing the podcast. You're also tying a bow tie, which you've never done before.
Yeah, this is new for me.
Also, you look cool as fuck right now.
Hold on, I haven't put on the jacket yet.
This is what James Bond would look like if he was hosting a podcast.
Well, at some point, I think James Bond does look like this at some point, but they just cut that out of the movie.
bow tie, goddamn.
This is like James Bond when he gets hit by a sleep dart.
Oh,
And so he's only functioning at...
Money penny, sent me the bow tie.
It's like when they got poisoned in Casino Royale and had to shoot all that salt and barfed and then went into the car and got. It was awesome. Anyway, I'm your host, Lawrence Sontag. I'm joined by James Willems,
Hello.
Elise Willems,
Hi.
Adam Kovic,
Sup?
and Bruce Green.
Hey.
Hey guys, we got some cool shit to talk about today. For starters, we're broke, so we're gonna
If it's not obvious,
Says the man in the tuxedo.
we've hit literal rock bottom.
This is a telethon.
my YouTube futures are going through the floor. I'll deal with that later once I'm not talking.
It's like so weird. Lauren started making millions of dollars, and then we got nothing.
Stuffing envelopes
He's just
in his tux.
That's right.
Well, this is what poor people do. They make themselves look like they're wealthier.
Absolutely
So
they
then
do.
you go to Rent-A-Center and you rent something like that. Like
A nice
we have
VCR.
less money than ever before. So Lawrence is trying to compensate, but we'll just all wear tuxedos.
I've always said the best way.
And obviously that's different from creator to creator, but that's for us the case. So if there are no pre-roll ads running on our content, then that means we're not making 80% of the revenue we were making just about a week ago. And we don't know why,
Which is peak salary.
which is peak
So, I
salary.
mean,
So
yeah.
It's all gone.
So Peak's going to be.
Peak's been
He's
coming in
on the chopping
pro bono.
block.
Oh,
It's been
boy.
great.
Yeah, he's going to start working for free.
Yeah.
Um,
We're now a charity, so anything we do is a write-off.
So it's just really weird because, like Lawrence said, YouTube hasn't given us any indication of why. So we've talked to them a couple of times, and they've sort of been like, well, oh yeah, I mean, like we've had
It was like Spider Attack or something.
Yeah.
It was like the title, and it was a thumbnail of a man fighting a spider.
yeah,
No ads.
Well, that's the frustrating thing is, like Lawrence was showing earlier, everything is shown as being monetized, and it's not. And so when we asked what's the problem, they said, basically we're under some kind of review, but we don't know from who or what.
and nobody does, not even YouTube. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting position to be in because obviously we have other revenue streams like from Rooster Teeth and like these ads that Lawrence have been running, stuff like that. That's good. That will also make us money, but it seems like anybody that might have anything close to offensive seems to be ringing that bell.
It's weirdly vague. It almost seems like it's human.
Yeah,
It's
no,
way
yeah.
more human than a robot could ever be about
Absolutely.
like deciding what is and isn't okay. I saw on Reddit that I guess
yeah.
you're not necessarily assessing whether or not it's appropriate.
Well, then from a video to video basis, if every video is ad free, then that seems more like a channel being blacklisted as opposed to on a video by video basis there being some kind of human selection or algorithm that's very, very like targeted.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you make a great point. I mean, like, the whole channel is blacklisted, not just a few videos. And it's from what I can see, it's anything sex or violence. So that's why guns. That's why anything LGBT. I've heard that just anything with the title or the word "gay" in it just gets immediately demonetized.
Also, to be clear, YouTube hasn't asked us to change our content.
Not at all. No.
Like the heart of the content, they didn't. Like I asked specifically, like should we bleep or blur more or like do be more child? And they're like, no, don't do any of that. Like just titles and thumbnails. Just that's kind of like it's the forward-facing stuff, which we're guilty of having a lot of fun with.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I guess maybe we sometimes go too far on someone else's platform, but
It's weird
This
too
is what
because we've
happens.
talked about how it's worked.
no, and it
It's
has worked. Yeah.
in on their platform. It's sometimes the best way to get people to stop and look, and then just ultimately decide if there's something worth watching there. But it's one of the best ways to get people to stop and look, and now it's one of the ways that they're realizing that they don't want that on their platform.
Yeah, well, YouTube told us that they're worried about more screenshots like the one that was in. Was it the Wall Street Journal, Lawrence?
The Coke ad on the
Nikas.
Alabama N-word video.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a Coke ad on that, and basically, the screenshot wasn't a video. It's just a shot. So the worst part about it was that there was an ad running on a video that had a title with the N-word in it. And that was the major problem, which makes sense to me. I get why YouTube wants to avoid that. But if it has to be a little more context sensitive, because if there's a gun or if there's a video like showing off like, oh, here's the new MP5 gun or whatever, that's not offensive in any way, shape, or form.
Well, it's offensive to some people, but it's not necessarily like.
Is it it's not offensive. So if
if someone doesn't like guns, they're like, I'm offended by this or whatever.
Sure.
Why does this person have a gun? But that's their personal decision, and they shouldn't be able to put that onto someone else who is potentially showing you how to responsibly use said thing. You know?
And we also don't know what the advertisers have said to YouTube. We don't know what the advertisers said. Like,
that's got to be. I mean, look, it sucks for us right now. I imagine it sucks even more for YouTube in general. The people who are either scrambling, like I don't know if people are getting like fired over this sort of stuff, but like I'm sure there are people.
If ads are not running on our side, they're not making money on it either.
Exactly.
Yes,
if we're losing, like they have to be losing billions of dollars on this, and it's that to that. It's all trickle down. So it's like it's the thing we always talk about. We always preach. I feel like we're doing this freaking weekly now on the podcast, where it's like don't put all your eggs in someone else's basket.
Yeah.
It's not our platform. It's been a platform that's been very good to us, but these are the horrors. This is the horrors and the reality of what happens when you are dependent on another network and another system. These sorts of things can't.
Yeah, that's happened before. So.
We pulled the Pepsi ads from our videos.
Oh yeah,
We did the opposite.
So brave.
We said,
We never wanted that.
we do not want those associated with our content.
Get those Kendall Jenner ads off. But no, I mean it's.
What do you do when the ads are offensive?
Did you see the SNL skit?
Yeah.
That was good.
I haven't seen it.
It's the director or the writer of the commercial. He starts getting on the phone with friends, and during the commercial,
Is they're like right about to shoot?
yeah, he's at the shoot, and he's like, "Oh man." Oh, and he keeps calling everybody to try to get one like affirmative response. It's great.
It's all a bad idea.
It's just so right now, as it stands, we're not telling anybody to take any action or anything like that. It's just more of like a here's what's happening. So we're taking it as it comes. We're lucky because we are owned by a company that is very supportive of us and our content, and they've been super helpful. And we've obviously talked to them and talked about different options and stuff like that. So there's nothing yet. No panic yet on our side. Whereas if you are a normal YouTuber, like Hutch, or basically I Do Work, or those guys, that's their only business.
Yeah.
And I know if I were them, I would be pretty worried, and I'm sure they are, and I feel for them because I kind of know that those are singular dudes. Like they're just like out there on their own, busting their ass, and I hope everything works out.
I mean, we've always tried to operate like a business. Diversify, grow an audience, and then figure out a way to protect ourselves. And we never try and expand beyond our means and such like that. And I think this situation where we could come out here and be really, really pissed off, but it's I feel like all of us collectively are more like, let's think about this. What can we do as a business that wants to continue being a business for a long time to come? What can we do to ensure that we can get through this in a reasonable way? But yeah, it's definitely been a change in the office.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've always spoken highly of YouTube as being a billboard. It is. I think it's a good way of reaching a mass audience. Honestly, it's just like for our business model, we just kind of go where the dollars are.
Yeah.
What was the other one we heard about?
Game Wisp?
Game Wisp.
Yeah, Game Wisp. Obviously there's like Patreon and all that other stuff too. It's it'll be interesting to see if that's what other creators do.
Yeah.
And I think that these times of strife leave definitely windows vacuums for other competitors to rise. So there could be another platform that stems out of the YouTube.
BruceTube.
BruceTube.
Yeah.
BruceTube. As soon as they get one subscriber, you shut it down.
I shut it down. Yeah. I can't maintain it.
As always, though, if you are a viewer watching, thinking like, "What can I do to help?" It's like the best thing. And I always say this: just tell your friends about us. Spread the word.
Yeah, word of mouth.
That's really all it is. Is like if you could just get anyone else to watch your content, and they legitimately like it, and then they become a fan, and then that fan ends up down the line buying like a Funhaus shirt. that's important to us. That helps us in the long run, and then like get them to sign up for first or anything like that. If that's a natural, holistic sort of thing, great. We never want to we don't want to have a forced surge in audience retention where all of a sudden
I think it's also for me at least, and I think it goes for all of us here. It's like we really like making content, and we never want to be like victims. We never want to feel like we're successful through victimization.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh no, poor us. This has happened to us. That's why people are noticing, or that's why people are caring. We want people to like what we make and do that. It is a weird situation because we're still like putting up what we think are great videos, but we're putting them up like kind of like this weekend. It was like, let's load up videos knowing that they're not going to make any money.
It's not going to help the business at all.
It's weird. It's a weird feeling because
it's a tough
like
call, though,
you have to pay for them.
It does help.
It does.
It helps because it's
in a very indirect way.
It's we're getting into the recommended engine and stuff like that where because our watch time is high and our views are high, people are noticing us, but then those videos are technically losing money because it costs money to make, and then YouTube's not paying us for what we're doing on it. But I mean, YouTube is also losing money because of the server that has to hold that video and the way that video is served, and so everyone's losing money on this. That's what happens when you work in the advertising world. I mean, this is how people lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Say Samsung wants to pull out of an account you're working on, your job goes away.
Yeah.
I don't want to derail this discussion. The competition aspect made me think of an aside. But have you guys heard of Mastodon?
The band?
No. But they are getting a lot of search traffic because there's this new social media platform called Mastodon that is thing. I have to double check it and see what's going on.
Deep web.
Where did Lawrence go?
Ta-da!
Oh, it's James Bond. I mean, Lawrence.